Hi everyone, welcome to the GameTalk. Ajax NEC 2-2. We gave it away in the injury time. Papi, I'm gonna give it to you. I have a lot on my mind right now, but we will discuss everything when we go along this session. Take it away.
Well, Juan, I'm kind of pissed, to be honest, and disappointed in how we played. But I just want to say that I started the day with just wanting a win. I knew it was going to be a struggle with Berghuis and Bergwijn not there. I was very curious to see what Van het Schip was going to do. Was he going to keep everything, like he did today, or was he going to switch a formation to make other people come into their strengths? Didn't happen. He stuck to the 4-3-3. He used Banel and later on also Marta, and we had a young team again. To be honest, I'm not happy, especially because the goal at the end should never happen. You should be very careful when you have that lead to just, in that last minute to just carry it out and not take any risk. And I thought we were still busy with creating that goal. There's not much positives I can say. I mean, there are some keynotes to take. I loved how Broby played today. He was, again, strong, a nuisance for the defense, was involved in 2 goals, assisting. So I thought he was great. I thought Henderson looked better on the number 8 position, especially in the first half. The midfield looked a little bit more controlled with the Tahirovic-Henderson combination. I thought in the second half when Branco came in, it was much better also with the passing, much faster passing, much better in the feet, and that upped our game as well. But just some players didn't do it for me today, Juan, and we will touch upon that later. But some players should be very, very worried for their position, and to concede that late, that's going to be a blow to the motivation of these players, I'm sure. So that's going to have an effect.
Okay, a lot of interesting things what you're saying. We'll come to the comments in a bit as well, but just dissecting what you're saying. You started with the formation, or at least you were wondering whether Van het Schip will keep the 4-3-3, yes or no. That is a discussion, mostly because also now Berghuis is out and unavailable. We knew that he was doubtful. Today we heard he's not available. So you and a lot of people, of course, a lot of Ajax fans were contemplating what will happen. But you were quite, firm in the sense that you wanted to play 3-5-2. You wanted to change the Ajax style. Let's call it Ajax style, of course, because we're used to playing 4-3-3 or 3-4-3. And you want to switch, which is blasphemy, basically, from Ajax standpoint. But you feel like with everything that's going on, with the players that Van het Schip has, 3-5-2 would have been a better choice today. Am I correct?
That's correct. And if we're talking about the Ajax way, then the last 2 seasons haven't been the Ajax way. So if we're talking about what do we have in this team and how we can get the best out of them, I thought a 3-5-2 option would be better. You can have wings. You can stretch the pitch as much as you can on the sides. You can have Akpom and Broby, in the striker position, which is going to be a nuisance for any defense. And I thought, you can keep the structure of that midfield in the same way, but a little bit more structured and with Tahirovic more controlling. Mm-hmm. But you saw it today, like Hato, for instance, going to the left. A bad thing from Schip to do, because we saw it against Bodo that he wasn't comfortable there. Today he was again one of the players that didn't have a very great game, with the own goal, and he wasn't himself. You saw on Hato, he wasn't himself playing that position. And I'm like, okay, why are you changing that now that Wrench came back? Just put Wrench on the back position. Leave Hato in the center. He was our best player. Why would you mess with that? Why would you mess with the best thing in your team? To put Wrench in a position that he hasn't played, because he always plays fullback. So why not because we're struggling also on the left, put Wrench there, leave Hato center. I didn't see a glimpse of what Hato usually brings. So that for me is a Johnny Van het Schip mistake. His substitution for Marta, staying in the same formation. He has to bring in Marta. We don't have any other options. But Marta didn't bring anything. And I wonder if he's the Ajax standard or Ajax quality that's going to help us. No, in this case, he should focus on the fullback position, and now he's being used as a forward. Not very good for a young player. Same as Hato, young player. You're not going to constantly change positions on them. He didn't use Sosa today. He brought in Rijkhoff, which was his debut, and very good. But that was like 2 minutes, and then the goals fell. So it it wasn't his fault, but still, like it didn't help much. So yeah, I can be very critical on Jonathan van het Schip today because I'm very disappointed in his tactics. I don't think it's only the players, but it didn't look like Ajax at all. In the first half, we had glimpses of good possession football, but that was just glimpses, and the rest of the time it was NEC actually the better team, better in possession, showing more quality. So I think the draw was fair, even though we should have won that because you should never concede that late in the game.
But we could have lost as well if it wasn't for Ramai a couple of times. So we have to be fair about that.
Absolutely. And I know people will also blame a lot of the youngsters, but let's just not forget it's not their mistake that they're being put in this position right now. If you want to blame someone, blame our Mr. number 10 Taylor that has been here for years and 0 chances, 0 shots attempted, 0 nothing. So 70 minutes of just playing with a man down. I was so disappointed in Taylor today.
Yeah, look, we've been critical. Again, I'm going to repeat myself. Sorry for that, guys. But we've been very critical of players sometimes this season. But I feel, maybe you feel differently, but I feel like at this point, especially with the Bodo game and now this game, I feel we should be a bit more critical about Van het Schip and the technical staff. Because I feel like after the PSV game, we took a wrong direction after Bergwijn got injured. And things are getting overcomplicated. He's shifting too much. He's changing positions a lot. He's putting players all around the place, most of them, not all of them, but most of them. And it feels like also the players are suffering a little bit from that. We already had problems with the chemistry in the team, and now it feels like we're starting all over again. Do you see it the same way I do?
Yeah, I don't see the team that started when John van het Schip took over. I see a totally different team, a team that's drained, a team that's confused still. All those changes cannot be good for such a young team. They need to get used to their position, get used to their tactics, and changing so much now. It's not helping this team. I mean, we're still playing the same formation. If you want to change that much, just change the formation and make it more that players that you have now on the bench can play better, and that's put them in the strength, and he's constantly putting people out of their position, making it harder for them, and they're struggling already. So it's not going to make their play even better, Juan. So
okay, yeah. You mentioned a lot of players already. I just want to have one question for you. The Tahirovic was brought in again in this game, of course, on the midfield, and you already touched upon that Henderson moved up a little bit, especially in the first time you saw him pressing a lot from the 8 position. Did you like that combo of Henderson and Tahirovic? Is that something you would like to see again? We know that Van der Bomen eventually will have a starting position because he's being very good, but he's not totally match fit yet. So I don't think he will start next game either. But would you play Tahirovic and Henderson again on Thursday?
I like the organization better on the midfield. I don't like the combination with Taylor, and Taylor shouldn't even play. So, Tahirovic or Branko van der Bomen should be the options now going forward. But let's see. I mean, Henderson also looked tired, fatigued, maybe some injury there. So I don't even know if he's going to play on Thursday. Let's hope he will be well and nothing serious. But yeah, I think Taylor shouldn't be on the midfield anymore. Keep Linson on the 10. And Tahirovic, Hendo, very good combo. I like the first half, actually. It wasn't that bad, as people said. On that midfield, we still had good organization in that sense. But when Branko came in, Juan, that was a totally different game. I like the combinations between Henderson and Branko. It looked like they understood each other. The passing went up. We looked like a different team when Branko came in. So he should be our number 1, and the Tahirovic option should also be, if we want to be a little bit more defensive against stronger opponents, have a little bit more control with his defensive work instead of I don't know if Branko can really play that number 6 as a CDM, he needs a little bit more space for that.
And support, defensive support probably as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. My last question, as I already said, it's the last question, but my last question is, what would Van het Schip have? I mean, what should Van het Schip, and we always say this, what should Van het Schip take away from this game together with his technical staff? What lessons can he take from this and draw from it going into Thursday? I know you said already that we don't know which players will be available. I understand that, but a couple of maybe one or two things critical for you after today and after Thursday.
Wow. I thought. I mean, you're talking about the tactical thing and not the individual thing. Because
No, you can say whatever you want. You can say whatever you want.
But I thought we were really searching for Brobbey Good this time. He was being found a lot. I thought Brobbey played excellent there, and I thought the combination between him and Hlynsson, players coming closer to him, around him, to for him to relay the ball and have a chance, didn't work out. But we had a lot of moments like that, and we should be much more clinical in that aspect of it. I saw that when Branco came in, just the touch, the release of the ball, being faster in your touch in the passing, going forward, opens up so much space. And if we can manage to do that against Bodo, it will also create more space for our attackers. So I see their positives. And to be honest, I don't see any other positives than that, Juan, at the moment. It was actually a disappointing game, to be honest, and we cannot be too happy about it.
Okay, but what should he not do on Thursday?
Leave it open, like it was. Be more structured. Wait for chances. If you have the, if you're leading, just take care of your possession, and let them come. Play a little bit bait football, and not everything just long and going forward.
All right, let me go to the comments quickly. If you want to react, let me know. All right. Going with Javid. Javid is saying, you can say what you want and even call me Taylor hater, but I really forgot how long ago a puppet, and it's not an insinuation, just the way to describe his character like him was in Ajax. Yeah, all right. Clearly not a Taylor fan, sorry. And then he's also adding, this team doesn't deserve anything. I'm sorry, but if someone like those were on the field did not respect themselves, I see no reason to respect them. The man should have dignity. Yeah, people are very upset, of course, and disappointed. So are we. Puntje saying, so sorry, guys. It's painful to join you guys talking about the same old. Today, tactically, very poor game again. Agreed.
I want to touch on that. Tactically very poor. Like, Juan, does it annoy you that they don't press like we want to press? Like, they get a lot of time on the ball sometimes from the back. And I don't know, is that John van het Schip telling them stay deep because we don't have a great organization and they don't have the skills to do it? Because sometimes I want our opponents to be strangled in possession. And we're not doing that at all. We're giving them so much time. Even an average player would look good if you give them so much time.
Yeah, I don't fully agree. I think we the team is applying press. You saw that also at the start today, especially, but also at some phases during the game. The problem, however, is the pressing is a little bit late, in my opinion. So it depends also when you start pressing. You have to recognize when to start pressing before the person receives the ball, or the opponent receives the ball, or the defender, or whoever. That's something that we don't do on time, in my opinion. And second of all, not everybody presses at the same time, which is if you play against teams that are comfortable with the ball. And let's be honest, if you're like a top 8 Eredivisie team, I mean, most of the players are okay with building up and being comfortable on the ball, if they have a little bit of time. So that's just not what it's supposed to be yet. And you can argue whether we should do it. Van het Schip is being consistent. He tries it still. But so far, it hasn't really worked out the way we want to. But maybe it also has to do with the change of personnel all the time, the switching of positions all the time. So it also asks, you're asking the players to think differently at different positions and to apply it a little bit differently at different positions. So that's why it's a little bit tricky to talk about the pressing, That's my opinion, at least. So, all right. Tony is saying it's getting worse and worse. It seems that way. Javid is saying, why Banel preferred over Borges? Yeah, so Forbes, why you brought back Fizz Jim? If Taylor bakes nothing and you still put him in the starting lineup each game. Yeah, look, Taylor is getting a lot of stick already, also from the fans in the stadium. I think he knows. I mean, today, he tried, but no productivity, nothing, basically.
I still can't understand how you can be a 10 and not have any chances, not any shots created, not
Look,
that's actually
look. Let's be honest. There has been Ajax players in the past from the youth academy that have gone through this. That have like Daley Blind or something. He's been whistled also from the fans and stuff. I know it's harsh, but he has to learn from it. Maybe he has to take a step back. I already said that to Luke as well. Take a step back, regroup himself, focus, and come back stronger. He's still a young player, but he has to improve if he wants to be a solid player for this team in the future as well. Dane is saying, we have no philosophy, another mess of a game. I like something I saw from Banel. I think he has something, just young. Forrest truly has a terrible touch. I'll take the goal, but wow. And they say it deserved the draw. Yeah, that's fair. Murder Inc. is saying, John van het Schip think he's Pep, making lineups complicated because your left wing and right wing are not available. Yeah, I think also he's overcomplicating things as well. Dan Murray is saying, Banel was amazing today. What a player. I don't know if that's...
Is he being sarcastic? Yeah.
I'm not sure. Javid is saying, all van het Schip innovation is informed Broby. I do feel sometimes, honestly, lately now, in the beginning I was like, okay, that's good. But it seems like Broby, we are so dependent on him. And to a second degree, also Berghuis. It looks like we have to change our name this season to FC Broby or something, or Broby FC. Seriously. All right.
It's really bad.
Yeah. DJ Sasha Pentov is saying, Hato, please don't make these errors anymore. But you touched upon it. You don't want him to be moved out of the center, right?
He doesn't look comfortable on that left side. I would think with his athleticism, he would play it more attacking, move up more. We saw at the beginning of the season, I don't remember which game that was, but he gave a great cross for a goal, giving that assist also on the side. So it shouldn't be miles away for him to do a good job there. But still, he doesn't look comfortable there. So why take him out if he's playing so wonderful on the CB position?
Yeah, and I also feel like after, like you touched upon it, the Bodo game, when he made the switch back, when Van het Schip brought Hato back in the middle, you saw a different Hato immediately. I don't understand that the technical staff did not pick this up and said, okay, you know what? Maybe we want Wrench in the center for tactical reasons, for maybe better build-up, etc. But, Hato was doing well in the center. He's been maybe our most, until today probably, but our most consistent player from the start of the season, even with Stijn. So, yeah. All right.
So if the coaching staff needs help, they can call us, Juan. They know we're here,
I'm not going that far, but yeah, it's just my observation. Blacker Boy is saying this was so bad. Yeah, I agree. Javid is saying about Kaplan, it's too simple. Until you got Dutch players will be preferred over others. Taylor, Tahirovic, Sosa, Marta, Kaplan, Rensch, Guy, Rensch, Hoyer. Yeah, yeah, it's easy to see that. We'll see. I think you mentioned something about that off camera, right? About the players from the academy being favored. You were questioning why Banel was chosen today before the game. Also, why Marta came in, etc. Right?
Yeah, I was before the game because I think in principle to play at Ajax 1 you have to have a certain level, and they didn't prove themselves yet at the young Ajax level to become a starter at Ajax. Why are they getting the starts? Because our team is in shambles, and that all started with the transfer season. It's not in balance. The players brought in don't have the level. So yeah, then coaches prefer to give young Ajax players a chance above the players that were bought. I get that. But you can also think of it as change the formation, put these players that are bought in their strongest option or in their strongest position or in the strongest way of playing, so they come in their strengths, and then you can also get a result. And for me, that kind of, how do you say that? Flexibility within your coaching it should always be there. We're talking about modern football. We're talking about Ten Hag when he was here, playing also in a 3-5-2 a little bit in the defensive sense. It's a changing game, moving pieces. It's not only 4-3-3. That's how you stand the whole game. So for me, you have to move on from that 4-3-3 and move to how can I get best from the strengths of this player. And today, we don't have Berghuis, we don't have Bergwijn. Here is where you show as a coach what you can do and what you can do tactically.
All right. Talking about what the coach can do tactically, only for the weakest sake, Van het Schip is no better than Stijn. Just like him, he has no game plan, so he subs a ton of youth players to please the fans. I'm so done with it. Simon is saying Van het Schip should never play Marta, Gooijer, and Taylor again. Give Forbes more minutes and play Kaplan next game and stick to one formation.
I see that a lot, but Gooijer for me is out of this. So Marta, you can say what you want. Taylor, you can say what you want. I think Gooijer has been playing very decently lately, and maybe he had an off day today, but it's harsh to already write off this player because I did see some good things from him.
I agree. It's too early to write off Gooijer. I do feel he's struggling lately a little bit more. Today also he was struggling a little bit. As a coach, I feel like I know he doesn't have a lot of options. Maybe he doesn't have any confidence in Guy, for instance. But you could put Rens there on the right back position, and put Hato back to the center. And the thing is also, like, in terms of Sosa, that for me is like every game, you don't know if Sosa's going to play. Sometimes he starts with him. Sometimes he puts in the second half. Sometimes he doesn't play any game. It's so inconsistent. There's no idea sometimes behind what they're doing in terms of which players are playing when, etc. That's for me the biggest thing that I'm worried about, because it gives me a message as a fan that even the technical staff and the coach are struggling to find a solution. You understand what I mean? Yeah.
They are.
All right.
They are. I mean, all these injuries cannot be helpful. But if you talk about Gooijer, he could have also opted playing Wrench on the right back, leaving Hato there, putting Kaplan in the CB next to Soetelo. There were different options. I mean, Gooijer played already 2 games after each other on Sunday and on, was it Sunday or Saturday? Anyway, last weekend and then this Thursday against Bodo. So also, as a young player, he's going to feel that change of pace, that change of quality that he has to bring every time. So he could have also protected him by playing Wrench right back, leave Hato left back, and bring Kaplan in. But he doesn't do that. So you do have options. You just have to use them. And we have been hearing a lot of good things from Kaplan in playing at Young Ajax. So it's not just falling from the skies.
From the skies. All right. Javi to say Wrench will never be the star. Murder Inc. is questioning whether Soetelo Hato again. Do you guys still trust this pair? Lack of communication pair, nonchalant pair. Yeah, I feel personally Hato in the center is much better than on the left back, but that's my opinion. Let me see. Steve is saying, with this starting lineup, Van het Schip lost points for Ajax again. Only when Tahirovic and Taylor were substituted in the second half and Linson went back to the midfield did Ajax create chances. Yeah, that's true. He's also adding with his start. Oh no, that's the same. He made a double. I'm sorry. All right. Yeah. So Danko is saying lucky point. Yeah. If you're really critical, yeah, absolutely. Angelo, good afternoon, Juan. Good afternoon to you too, Angelo. I hope your Sunday is not that bad because of the result. Looking at the comments again. Ziggy is saying everyone is praising Gooijer, but he ain't much better than what we have on the bench. He constantly got outplayed by Hansa. Yeah, he was struggling today. I just said it. I agree.
But here sorry, Juan, but he's also insinuating that Guy would have done better. Do you think Guy would have done better?
No, he's saying basically there's no difference. That's what he's saying. So whether you put Guy in or Gooijer, that's his opinion. It's not a big difference. Steve is saying Van Schip played a 4-4-2 with Brobbey and Banel as attackers. Yeah, all right. Yeah, that's true. The starting 11 with Linson was a little bit more reserved, of course, not a classical winger. You could look at it that way. That's true. Javi to say I'm not going to bash too much on youngsters. We got players who play in the first team for 2-3 consecutive years. Ranch, Taylor, exactly. Ziggy is Steve is not really a fan of Henderson-Tahirovic combination. That's from the Boer Beton football. Ziggy is saying, Papimento, let's be honest, we do miss Bergwijn on that left wing, looking at a Banel or Forbes. You want to react to that quickly?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's not, Bergwijn is a better player than both those players. So yeah, we do miss him. But let's be, no, I don't want to go negative. So yeah, we do miss him.
All right.
That.
Keith is saying, when AZ draw, we draw. When Twente lose, we draw. Top 3 become more and more difficult. With the way we're playing, honestly, I think the next game is AZ next week, right? That's going to be the biggest game. If we lose that game, it's over, in my opinion. Even though we have 10 games left, I don't think we'll come back from that, to be honest. But that's the feeling I have right now, right? Steve is saying, Juan, blasphemy it is, but it's not the formation, it's the lineup and the tactics. All right, good point. Go ahead.
No, it's also about creating chances for your strikers to get into specific places on the pitch so they can score. You need to get them as many balls as you can during the match. How many really usable balls do they get? It's always Brobbey with his back towards the goal. He gets the ball. It's almost never that they get the ball like them running towards the goal for a header or one-on-one with the keeper. It's not that. We're lacking a lot of creativity. So you could have opted for more crosses with 2 strikers, getting more out of your strikers than what you're doing now.
I think the first half, Brobbey did get, he did run away from the defense. I think Taylor gave him that he was offside, basically. He gave him that pass. Second half, there was a similar one, but also he was offside with that one, with Linson in the rebound, shooting wide or over, I'm sorry. But they were just offside. But these were the only occasions in which Brobbey went to the goal. But other than that, yeah, it's basically give the ball, especially at the end, towards the end of the game, it was all give the ball to Brobbey. So yeah, we're becoming very predictable. Like I said, Brobbey is very instrumental in our attack. One moment, going through the comments again. All right, we have Biren saying, I don't even blame the players anymore. Ziggy is saying, you're not going to win against AZ next week with this way, the way we're playing.
How serious is Berghuis, by the way, Juan? Do you know? Like, will he be back next week?
Not sure. Probably he will be back. If they say it's doubtful for today, then probably he has more time to recover. He will be available maybe on Thursday, but I don't know, to be honest. Keith is saying, we finish top 3 or we win the Conference League. Both seem difficult. I choose Conference League. We have super bad season. I just want to see we lift a trophy. That's the only thing that matters now. Do you agree with that, Poppy?
No, I don't. I think we should be humble. I don't think we should expect or go for anything. Let these players first find a level that we can work with, because it was terrible today. And with this level, we shouldn't even be looking at those prizes. Top 3, it looks so far away. A title in the Conference Leagues looks so far away. We still have an away game against Bodo, Juan. That should be the hardest away game of our lives. So let's just see how it happens on Thursday. I don't feel that comfortable to say we're going to win, no, or we should focus on something. No.
Yeah, there's no confidence at the moment.
No, absolutely not.
All right. Chris Clark is saying Son Hans left wing, Yuri Baas left back. These 2 should be at Ajax right now. Would fix a lot of what was wrong about today. Yeah. All right. I understand the sentiment. I understand what you're saying. Bjorn is saying again, Insanity is doing the same over and over again with no result. The staff is failing the team big time. Yeah, we're critical right now. Tahirovic and Taylor only pass back. What control? Yeah, regarding what you said about you feel like there's more control with Tahirovic and
no,
and
I meant
yeah.
I meant we have seen Henderson Taylor on the midfield, and that was just open house. And today it didn't feel like an open house. It felt more structured. I felt like Tahirovic does some defensive work in the early stages when they go into transition. So that made it harder for them also to create chances, which helps the defense in turn not conceding so much. So in that sense, I think off the ball work, Tahirovic brings much more than Taylor. So that's why I would see that combination more. But of course, if Branco is fit, play him with Henderson. That should be your ideal midfield.
Ajax head coach at weTalk Ajax, do these so-called football players do not have any shame anymore? I honestly, like I said before, and maybe Papimento also, and some people also said, at this point, I'm not blaming the players anymore. I don't think it's the players. I'm looking much more right now, this last week, at the technical staff and the coaching. So yeah. Robin Gray is saying, this is mentality. This is mentally a difficult season for the squad. After a very bad start, it seemed that Ajax was finding its form with a couple of key injuries, and it's gone, I believe. Yeah, oh, I'm sorry. Here we go, and it's gone. They're not mentally going to recover from this. Well, the only thing we could say at this point is we still have like over 10 games to go. So hopefully, Branco comes back quickly, other players come back quickly, and then we can have the players again. But it's weird that only if we lose 2 or 3 players already, this team seemed to crumble.
And maybe that's the elephant in the room.
No, I just want to say, if you're a very well-structured team, it doesn't matter if 1 or 2 key players go away or 3 players. I mean, of course, the quality maybe become less, but the structure should maintain the same. We still should see same patterns, same play, etc. And the thing is, we've been very positive and not critical about Van 't Schip because he had to inherit the team, which is not easy. He barely got new players, only 2 basically in the January window. So we understand and we're grateful for what he's doing and everything like that. But now is the time that you see whether you have a good coach and a good technical staff that can really make the difference for us, and it seems like that's not the case so far. Nickname, therapy sessions yet again, boys. Yeah, we've been doing that for almost, this is the 2nd season, right? So crazy. Bjorn is saying, why is Schip playing Taylor, who has making runs but without players who can find him between the lines? Tahirovic and Henderson are not great players in the build-up. Yeah, we have deficiencies in our team. Chris Clark, I've been defending Marta, but today he was absolutely shocking. On the flip side, Linston was doing great again. The kid looks absolutely knackered, though. Yeah. Do you blame him a little bit, for the 2nd goal we conceded? Because the pass, it was actually Linston's, direct opponent.
Yeah.
I think he was tired.
No.
I think he was tired.
No. He was, but I don't blame him because Hato was actually defending it, and if he didn't move with that player, it would have been offside. So he was actually not holding up his offside line when the guy received the ball. And I think also when the guy is going to cross, you should do more to block the shot. And also when you look at, was it Sutalo that had the man in front of him? The guy that was potentially offside? Was that the Sutalo?
Wrench.
Was that Wrench? Yeah,
I thought it was Wrench. Sutalo wasn't covering anyone.
It's okay to push somebody there, but the ball should never move from that position to anywhere else. So I thought he was also very lacking in his defensive work there. So I thought it was more of a team lacking effort than only Linston. But it should never happen. I said that before. I also want to touch a little bit on Ramai. We haven't discussed that beautiful save that he made, but he kept us really in that match. He has some weird kicks sometimes, but his saves today really kept us in the game. So kudos to him as well.
Yep, absolutely. Bjorn is saying Tahirovic and Henderson got no build-up game, in my opinion. Neither do our central defenders. That's where the problem lies, in my opinion. Was in the stadium today, saw the match, dramatic. I was there in the stadium after the 1-0. No creativity, no attacking play, boring, very boring. All right. Let me see. Going quickly. Mega Lobst is saying, Branco is my favorite player, weirdly, of this year's squad. He's a player that has qualities which, in my opinion, we are lacking. Absolutely. We can see that. It's very clear to see that as well. I have to skip a couple of comments, guys, because there are so many comments. All right, here we go. Sepp is saying, this is what we deserve, to be honest. Keep playing Taylor and Marta, etc. See what that brings us. The abyss is what it brings us. Yeah. Aardappelschil is saying, Gooyer has no attacking quality of defending quality. Not a fan of Gooyer. All right. Indrek is looking ahead, looking at the recent games, what will happen in Norway. We don't know. We don't know. I don't think anyone wants to think about it. We're just gonna hope. That's all we can do at this point. So that's it, basically. And then I have Harald Holst. He's saying, question, will Sivert Mansverk come into the team or will they stay by the team as is? Are you guys going to Bodo? Thoughts on the return match? You want to touch upon that quickly, Puppy?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Actually, I've been following Mansverk the last two Young Ajax games, and I thought he was positive. He made a positive appearance on me. Like his first touches, his passing, really good. So I would like to see him have a chance on the midfield. But we have Henderson now. We have Branco coming back, so it's going to be difficult for him to really find his spot in Ajax one. But if he can show in his surplus of quality in our team, he could be an asset for sure. And I don't see him staying away long. Are we going to Bodo? No, I'm not going to go to Bodo. I'm going to stay in Holland. Thoughts on the return match? I think it's going to be a very tough match. I don't see us having much chance after today, looking at the game, looking at the injuries. I don't know if Berghuis will be back. But without Berghuis, without Bergwijn, I think we have a 30% chance of going through and a 70% to lose there. So
yeah, I only feel the only way we would win if we're really going for a win there and grab a result. The only way we can do that if we play the PSV the way we play against PSV, just sit back a little bit, play not really our style, and just rely on individual qualities from Berghuis and Brobbey, and that's it. And because we almost always score a goal, so that's the only positive I can say about Ajax at this point. But we also
concede.
Concede the goal, so that's why I'm saying maybe we should be a bit more defensive. But I don't know. We'll see what Van het Schip and the staff will do. Are you, by the way, a Bodo fan? Let us know, Harold. I'm curious. Thank you for the question. Christian has a question as well. Question, guys. How many therapy sessions should I ask after this? I don't know, man. I don't know, to be honest. It's also hard for us every time to talk about this, to be honest. It's like a repetitive story.
We don't I swear, we don't want to be negative. We don't want to be negative.
Yeah. Ajax, what's up, fan? Thank you, Ajax, for dropping. I think Ajax is really upset, by the way. Björn is saying, I was very critical of Branco, but his passing is so good. I wonder what will happen if a team will man-mark him, though. He's not the most agile player. Yeah, we have to find out if Henderson and Van der Boma combination will work. There are different opinions about that at this moment, but we have to wait and see. But his passing is crisp, absolutely. Luciano is saying, Luciano is saying Schip should go out. Honestly, I don't think anything will happen this season.
Just finish this season. Just finish this season. Yeah.
True. Steve is saying, is it true about the rumors that Van het Schip will be the coach next season? I cannot imagine, to be honest. I don't even think the fans will accept that. But I also think the people in charge right now, they're seeing also what's going on, and they will be grateful for Van het Schip. But I think we have to go, build and grow from here.
And I've read also, Juan, that they're looking also at foreign coaches. So it's not only Dutch coaches. They're looking for really a good top coach.
Yeah, we have to talk about that.
From rumors. Yeah,
we have to talk about that in a separate live stream, I think, because I understand why we would go for a foreign coach, but foreign coaches, foreign people coming to Ajax, it's not always been the best, combination. And also the media is a little bit more critical. The fans are a little bit more critical in general.
I mean, they were critical on Ten Hag, but results always shut them up, right? So
yeah, but just like I think Javid said about looking at Dutch players versus foreign players, we're always a little bit more critical when somebody comes from outside to do something at Ajax. That's just the way it is, So let's see. Roy is saying they're going to stick to the system, which doesn't work. Van het Schip doesn't know anymore. Yeah, it feels that way. And Lucien is saying, with all due respect, but Van het Schip has no clue what he's doing. Yeah, we understand those comments. Nike is saying Alex Cruz is starting in March. Do you think he will make big changes? Not
Not for
immediately,
this.
I think. Not
Not
immediately.
for this season, yeah. But
In
in
the
the transfer
summer.
window, you can expect for sure things to happen.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Nessun is saying, Nessun Dorma is saying, offer Knudsen the job after next game. Yeah, I hope we're not too late. I hope that he would consider coming to Ajax, but let's see. Harold is saying, I'm North Norwegian, football fan first. I follow Norwegian's players, talents, and big clubs. That's why I'm following Ajax and Sievert. P.S. Sievert will improve you. Yeah, he was good at Young Ajax. I think he played that game. I forgot against who, but he made an impression on me. So let's see. Ziggy is saying, it needs to be a coach who is used to coach at the top level, no gambles anymore like the past 2 years. Someone who is used to do the pressure when what comes along with it. Yeah. And Yafit is saying, Juan, do you remember the stream with the narrative that this year should be Taylor's year in the beginning of the season? Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Normally it should be, because he came to play a couple of games when it was the last season of Ten Hag. Last year was his first season, although it was a very difficult season in general because of the coaching staff and everything that happened. But this year, you would, even though we had Stan and everything like that, you would expect from Taylor after, in the second season, to show at least a little bit of improvement, like we see with Broby, for instance, or Hato.
Some creativity.
Yeah. But I feel like this year has been a waste, honestly. I don't feel he's progressed whatsoever. So yeah, I mean, it can happen. We'll see. All right, last comment, guys. For the games versus Norway, what will be some changes you would make to improve the gameplay? I think I asked you a little bit the same as well. Just quickly, Puppy, on this one.
Yeah, Juan, for me, just change the system, make it more workable for the player and the quality we have at the moment. So the players feel more comfortable in their position. And that's the biggest takeaway for me.
If Berghuis would be back, you would not change the formation, right?
No, if Berghuis is back, I wouldn't change anything. I would keep it 4-3-3. But I do want to see Branco starting. I want to see a faster possession ball. The pace of the passing is so lethargic at times. They should play with a bravura. They should play with balls, with cojones, with a little bit of attacking bravery. And that's not something we're seeing at the moment. Sutalo, for instance, that's my biggest example. The amount of time he gets just free to do whatever he wants on the ball, but still he chooses for back plays, for side passes, not going for the long balls. Just show your quality. Go all out. Leave it all on the pitch.
All right.
Don't play scared.
Yeah. If it was up to me, C1, I would not play the same way we've been playing. I would just play like we played against PSV. Like they say in Dutch, put the brakes on a little bit and play a little bit more defensively, and we have to go through. It's all about, we have to sometimes change the mentality and just go for the result at this point, because I don't believe from now till Thursday things will magically be better if the staff changes a couple of things. It also has to do with confidence. The more, we've been now, this is a fourth consecutive game we haven't won. PSV, we were ecstatic, we were happy because it was PSV. But after that, we didn't really play well. I don't think that will just be different against Bodo, who's a very well-organized team. So we have to adapt. And if we don't, if we want to be Ajax like we want to, with these players, with the way we've been playing, I don't see us having a chance to go through. That's my honest opinion. So, all right. Going through the last comments, and that's it. I don't want to leave anyone out. Just compare Hlinson with Taylor. In terms of development, I agree. Lucien is saying, I'm sick of these players and also sick of this so-called trainer who has no tactical skills at all. I respect him for helping us out, but honestly, he needs to take a step back after this doomed season. Yeah, I expect that to happen, to be honest. Roy saying Hato is really bad lately. I think he's not that stable anymore, which I understand. He's young, but he makes mistakes lately. Yeah, we also feel, Papimento also mentioned, and I also feel like it's better to keep him in the center. He's been there playing well. Don't change him and put him on the left. I think he also said it after the game against Bodo that he feels more comfortable in the center. In that sense, being a young player, give him that confidence. Don't ask from him to do stuff which he's not familiar with at such a young age in a team that doesn't really has that structure yet built in, you know? So that's it. Guys, thank you so much. I'm sorry we played 2-2. I mean, it's hard. The good thing is that we have AZ next week, so we can more or less repair what we've been doing lately. But this week is going to be huge for us. Conference League and AZ game. It can be over. The season can be almost over if we lose both games. Let's hope not. Good luck today. Have a nice weekend, and I'll see you guys on Thursday. Take care.